Posted by you/off my wedding. Maybe this is the wrong place, but I'm going to explode with rage and disappointment at my family. My baby sister is the golden child. Or maybe that's unfair to say. She survived cancer when she was a child, which was the darkest period of my parents' lives. I don't remember much of it because my parents shielded me from the horrific truth. I knew she was sick, and I remember spending my childhood in hospitals, but I never knew my sister almost died until many, many years later. I was 12, and she was 10. After she beat her illness, she became the obvious favorite in the house. She got everything she wanted, sometimes at my expense. I resented that, but I was always told I was being a naughty girl for being jealous of my hero sister. My sister grew up to be a brat. Now, 20 years later, she's still bratty, although we get along a lot better than we did as teenagers/young adults. My wedding is in July. Neither my fiancé nor I have the money for a big wedding, so we settled for a small one, 30 people, at my fiancé's grandparents' house, which has a beautiful lake view. When my parents heard this, they said no way and offered to pay for a bigger wedding and better venue. We didn't agree at first, but later, we didn't want to disappoint them. It seemed like it was important to them. Last week, my mom invited me over. My dad, mom, and my sister's boyfriend asked me what I would think if my sister's boyfriend proposed to my sister during the wedding, so it would become an engagement party as well as a wedding. My mom has seen reels on Instagram about people proposing to maids of honor/bridesmaids and thought it was cute. My sister is my maid of honor. I said, no, that's ridiculous, and laughed. My mom was livid. She told me I was selfish and ungrateful, and I accused her of favoritism. I told her I always thought it was odd that they'd pay for my wedding, but now I know the reason why. She started crying and kicked me out of the house. Later, both she and my future brother-in-law sent me texts warning me not to expose their plan to my sister. My fiancé was disappointed, but we weren't sure what to do. My parents have spent almost $30,000, and it's too late to cancel. My mother called me today to plan the proposal, and I begged her not to ruin my day. She told me that since she was paying, she could make requests, and that I should let go of my jealousy and resentment toward my sister because she's innocent in all of this. But the thing is, this day will be about my sister. I told my fiancé to ask his grandparents if they're still willing to host our wedding. If they are, I'll revert to our original plan. If not, I'll just elope. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to tell my family and cancel the wedding, or just let them have their grand proposal party. None of my family is invited to my wedding, including my sister. Thank you for listening. Edit. I can't tell her, since she has no idea her boyfriend is going to propose, and this would ruin the whole thing. At the same time, it would be ruined anyway when I elope, and she wonders why. But as of this morning, my mom still says they're going ahead with the proposal, even without my help. The original plan was for me to make the speech and tell my sister there's a surprise for her, that today is about the two of us, and so on, and then her girlfriends and boyfriend would do some rehearsed dance to their favorite song, and he would propose. If I know her well, she wouldn't mind being proposed to on my wedding day, so it's a lose-lose situation for me. Sometimes I think maybe I should agree and get it over with, but I'm so angry, and my fiancé actually doesn't want me to cave this time, since we were both happy with the backyard wedding. We even asked Mom to donate what she had planned on spending on the wedding to the Childhood Cancer Fund, in our names, like we requested as a wedding gift from our guests, but she insisted on a party for the extended family. I had a back and forth texting with my future brother-in-law, where he called me jealous and bitter. I have now blocked him. He texted my fiancé apologizing, but we didn't answer. My plan now is to get married a week earlier at my grandparents' in-laws with 20 guests because we have managed to change our honeymoon booking to be 3 instead of 2 weeks, with departure the morning after the wedding. My mom's wedding is already paid in full with no refund possibilities on such short notice, 3 weeks. That was the whole point, I think, to spring this information on me so close to the wedding date that I couldn't really do anything about it. Now they will have a week's heads up anyway when they see my wedding pictures on social media. They'll probably just turn the wedding into an engagement party and have a blast. So, it's a win-win, I hope. Update 23 days later. I really want to thank everyone who showed me support. I'm now happily married and in Como, Italy for my honeymoon. I tried to stay away from my phone, but I was so curious to see my family's reaction to my elopement a week earlier than planned. It was really ugly. I must start by saying that I really tried my best to negotiate and compromise with my family and truly explain that this was hurting me. I have nothing against my sister, and to be honest, nothing against her getting engaged on my wedding day, but the principle was that it was made very clear to me that I had absolutely no opinion or say in what was going to happen on what was supposed to be my special day. That was where I drew the line. It wasn't a wish or a request. It was a matter of fact, and it was decided. So I told my mom that I was not going to attend the party she'd paid for. Maybe they should just make it an engagement party instead. She got very upset and told me that the engagement was supposed to be a surprise. I told her that I was just giving her a heads up since she was about to lose an insane amount of money. She didn't take me seriously, as if I wasn't going to cancel my wedding because of a trivial thing. What she didn't know was that I'd already made plans to get married a week earlier at my grandparents' in-laws. We invited our closest friends, and some even had to book earlier flights and take more vacation days. For these people, I was extra grateful. What was left was my sister. I'd been back and forth arguing and negotiating with my parents and future brother-in-law. I decided that, even if this would ruin her surprise, I had to tell her, so I did. She wasn't really happy with my mom, but she was more upset that I ruined her surprise. As I expected, she thought I could have just accepted it and gone with the flow. The wedding was dreamlike. In the back of my mind, I was hurt that the people who loved me the most weren't there, but I pushed that thought away and refused to let it ruin our day. My husband was amazing. He promised to make me happy for the rest of my life, and to make up for every heartbreak I've experienced in my past. My in-laws surprised us by upgrading our honeymoon to a 5-star hotel. I had my friends, some cousins, and my favorite aunt attending. We asked them not to live stream or upload any pictures to social media until we were already on our honeymoon. We also asked them not to engage in any altercations online with my family. Today, my mom made long Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram posts bashing me and my husband, calling me ungrateful and disrespectful, along with pictures of my wedding. She told people I've cost her a big chunk of her savings and that she's now demanding compensation. Her Facebook post was shared about 200 times, and the majority of my extended family is angry with me. She never once tried to contact me. I really thought she would bombard my phone. Instead, both she and my dad announced that they're cutting me off and are expecting compensation. My future brother-in-law commented that I ruined his surprise, and my sister made a post about being tired of jealous B-words and haters. None of the people we invited has commented, even though some of them were directly attacked, so they respected our wishes. I don't know if they're going to go ahead and turn the wedding into an engagement party now. I really hope they do, so the money isn't wasted. It's on Saturday. Edit. Yes, they did, and they blew up the internet with pictures and posts about how magical the night was. My little sister made sure to write about how haters didn't ruin her special day and how she's surrounded by the people that matter. From what I gathered, about 30 to 40% of the guests that were invited showed up. This means they can't sue me for the wedding, so all is good.